We love them. They rocked Southern New England for decades. So what are the members of Tavares up to now? We'll take a look.
They were inducted into the Cape Verdean Hall of Fame. They're Tavares, all brothers from Providence and New Bedford. And NBC 10's R.J. Heim has a look at their half-century of music.
Of the nearly dozen top 40 hits and 3 #1 R&B singles, one of Tavares' most popular songs still today, recorded in '76, was never released as a single in the United States. It was from the album Sky High.
Don't take away the music. That's one of those songs, those real big hand clappers where people, it never dies.
As soon as we start singing it, people just roar. It's good music. You know, you can't replace good music.
After a 15-year lull since their last hit record, like many of the other brothers, Pooch took a day job as a longshoreman and a bus driver.
I did that for, 10 years. And trying to do that in between gigs, I got fired twice because I didn't go to work and they found out that I was out gigging.
Now 30 years since their peak, Tavares has had a resurgence in popularity. They're booked internationally through next year.
I can't understand why at my age we're starting to go back to the way we used to be. You know, I say I'm not 19 or 20 years old anymore, you know.
This wasn't an overnight thing. They were born into a house of music with their father, Feliciano Flash Tavares, at the helm.
They started with me. I played guitar for them when they started, and they outgrew me real quick.
Without you, none of that music would have happened.
Yeah, who knows? Well, I'm the troublemaker.
While Flash is their rock, their mom Albina, who passed away in 1981, remains their inspiration.
I can still hear her voice before we go on stage. We really miss her. She's the angel, and she's up there watching over us, too. She always used to tell us before we went on stage, sing Pretty for the People.
Long before the international fame, the boys were laying the foundation for a solid career.
And while living on Wickenden Street in Providence, just a few blocks that way, the Tavares brothers had one of their first gigs here off South Main Street at what was then the Providence Boys Club.
Being 6 young kids singing together like that, I mean, there wasn't a party that we didn't get invited to because they would probably try to get us to sing, and we'd knock or belt out a couple of songs, and we'd be the hit of the party.
First as Chubby and the Turnpikes, then Chubby and the Realities, playing gigs in New England, then Vegas, until they decided in '71 to go with the family name. They were on tour in Ontario when they got a call from an old friend who landed a job at Capitol Records.
And we want to know if you guys are interested.
What was your answer?
Of course. Are you kidding me? We couldn't get there fast enough.
What happened next? The brothers were transported into the stratosphere of music, from the top of the charts to Saturday Night Fever.
What do you do with a moment like that? You just, I don't know. I might have cried. I don't know. I don't know what I did, but you know, it's a feeling you don't get over.
See, now that's music, not the stuff to listen to today.
I love them. Penny for your thoughts.
Yeah. Part 2 of RJ's series on Tavares airs tonight at 11, right here on NBC 10.
The brothers are being honored for their contribution to contemporary music that included big hits from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I'm class of '78. I know the music.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right,
love it.
Tonight at 6, we looked at the family start in the music business, and tonight at 11, NBC 10's R.J. Heim picks up the story with the Saturday Night Fever days.
In the 5 years before Saturday Night Fever, Tavares already had 3 #1 R&B singles and a handful of top 40 hits, a mind-blower to the brothers who stayed grounded in Southern New England. Pooch remembers the first time they heard their song on the radio, in the car, going to a party with friends and cousins.
He said, "Hey, Dad, that's you guys, man." Yeah, I mean, you just get a chill from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, and you don't know what to do. You know, I mean, you're looking at these guys and they're saying, "Wow, man, we're riding with a star."
Riding a tidal wave of musical success when they met the Bee Gees backstage at Madison Square Garden.
They said, "Hey, man, we have a great song for you. We would like you guys to cover it." They never said it was for anything. We didn't know till later that Stiggery wanted to use it in the movie. We were in Europe when they needed the final product done, and we couldn't finish it.
That's right.
So the Bee Gees cut their own version of More Than a Woman.
That's why 2 versions ended up on the soundtrack.
They won a Grammy Award for the contribution to the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack that has sold so far more than 28 million copies. Now, Tavares changed record labels in 1981, hitting Soul Train with Find My Way Back to You.
One thing about Soul Train, they were the best dancers on television. So whenever we got on that show, we competed against them.
While the music was great, it was the year of the disco backlash, and they got lost in the shuffle when RCA signed Diana Ross and Dolly Parton. Their last hit, Penny for Your Thoughts, in 1982. Through it all, they've had their share of tragedy, too, losing their sister Eva and Chubby's son, both in separate shootings.
It just seems like when things are really starting to roll and things are starting to snatch at you, it tells you, hey, you know, you got to remember where you are.
They are all survivors, one of the last bands from that era with all the original members, making the music that carries them through.
Sit down and really think about not taking away the music, because music is the biggest part of everybody's life.
And there are plans for a few more Tavares albums.
It's a longevity thing.
Nos é muy content that nos nesse Cabo Verde. We are so happy that we were a part of the Cape Verdean tradition.
R.J. Heim, NBC 10 News.